Figure we take a quick walk through the warehouse, see what people are playing right now. Friday. Pericles going on.
That conflict is sort of fallen by the wayside.
Got a game of Commands and Colors Ancients that some people are going to get to eventually. Here we have the British Way. This is the coin series, the 4-in-1 coin game about the British colonies. Cyprus, Kenya, Malaya, and the one that I just finished playing, which is Palestine. They're playtesting that here. Pretty fun. Really excited about this package. We've got the Tierland underway here, playtest. Looks really nice from a playtest perspective. Everyone seems to be having fun with that one. A lot of positive thoughts about that. As you can see, everyone masked here, importantly. Here's Mr. President, which just looks absolutely insane. The number of tracks and tokens and cards for this game just looks crazy.
You're going to use those to calculate and put torpedo markers on here, aiming markers. You're going to assign those different modifiers to torpedo tubes. That'll help when you attack.
Naval game, Wolfpack, Mike Bertuccelli there doing a demo playtest. This is another playtest game. World War II. Really nice looking map that they're playing on. You can see Eastern Front, Soviets, Germans, Italy here, England, Western Front. I forget what the name of this one is. Downfall is the name of this one. They've been playing that basically all last night and today.
There's always the fuck it strategy, which is just go and invade.
Labyrinth, one of my favorite CDGs. GCACW, a system that I started playing this year and love so much. I think it's genius. It's fantastic. Which campaign are you guys playing? Which scenario?
Hood Strikes North.
Hood Strikes North, the most recent one.
Yep.
Love to see some GCACW. I got to get that played at a convention one of these days.
You can only move into a contested area. So he has
Hello. Who's winning?
Who knows?
Looks like the Russians are winning.
Possibly.
I'm doing fine.
Triumph and Tragedy, classic.
Alright.
Some Combat Commander going on. A peek into the warehouse. All the games, so many games. Be doing some shopping later probably. This is the back room.
When you're done with that, I want to see it back.
Black Orchestra, a game that I own and have yet to play that I really wanted to play. Trying to kill Hitler.
Okay, so you
Co-op petition, I believe. Battle for Normandy.
Battle for Normandy.
Nice to see that one on the table. All the maps, pretty crazy. Got some other stuff going on. This is White Star Rising, I believe. Yeah, White Star Rising from Lock and Load. Got a game. Oh, very cool. Last Eagles, Quatre Bras. This is a system that I've been really interested in playing and getting into. If I find some time, I might see if this person needs an opponent. Napoleonic's regimental system, I believe. Really beautiful art from Hexasim. Old school tactical happening.
Yep.
Absolute War.
It is. Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolute war.
I have yet to see this on the table yet.
Well, there you go. Now,
Look at that.
We can set it up and then we can say we've both seen it on.
A game of Holland 44 happening back here. They set that up yesterday, I believe. And I don't know what this is. This is welcome to Centerville here on these play mats. And then we've got the new edition of Successors from Phalanx. These guys have been playing all morning. Beautiful production. He's even painted the minis. I'll see if I can get a shot of that. They got the Siege Tower dice tray going. It's fantastic. Fantastic pimping out of the game.
Right, my guy comes up to claim he's helping you, and all the people just right.
But you lose only one. So every time when you are above 8, you lose 1.
Really want to get that. I'm waiting for my copy. My copy's not coming till December because I ordered the upgrade for Hannibal and Hamilcar, so gotta wait. But as soon as that comes in, I'm gonna try and organize a game day to play Successors. A game I've played one time and really enjoyed, and I've wanted to own for a long time. So very excited. I got some other tables over here. These will probably start to fill up as people arrive today. See, someone's brought Oath. It's Friday, early afternoon, so we're likely to see more activity. They've also put out a nice outside spot over here, which is pretty cool. So if you don't want to wear a mask, you can come out here and play. A bunch of tables. I believe there was a game of BSG that just wrapped up here at this table, Battlestar. Got some folks playing. There's a lot of Wild Blue Yonder happening out here yesterday. This is
That goes over there. I've got.
Yeah, you do this.
Cowboy Bebop.
But
Interesting.
the guys who did this anime did Samurai Champloo. Yes.
Cowboy Bebop game. Didn't even know there was one of those. That's cool. We got Space Corp happening over here. One of my favorite GMT games. Fantastic title.
It takes one movement point to move off of.
Nice. Washington's War. Haven't seen this in a while. Who's winning?
It's well, we just started playing.
Oh, okay.
It's
So the British then.
It's the classic.
It is the classic. Very nice. Wild Blue Yonder. Here's the Wild Blue Yonder table that they moved. They had a big multiplayer game going yesterday. Looks like they're playing a campaign of some kind. Got another game going over here. What is this? This is Dune. Is this Dune Imperium?
Yeah.
Nice. I've heard good things. There's also a copy of Dune set up somewhere else. We're going to try and get a game of Dune going while I'm here as well. Fire in the Lake.
The bot's crushing us.
The bot is crushing everyone.
This might need to be censored.
The bot is winning against 3 human opponents. This is how Skynet comes online.
That's right.
They're finishing up there. And then for the final... Oh, here, I'll walk through the warehouse. A lot of space here in GMT's extended warehouse, which is nice. The final thing I'll show you is I am also here with my special project, and we'll take a quick look at that. I got a playtest game in yesterday with some folks who really enjoyed it, and people have been coming by to look at it, which is neat. So I'm pretty excited about that. There's some tank duel happening over there yesterday. You can see the boxes on the table. And here we are with my project that I brought. This is Seljuk, Byzantium Besiege, 1068 to 1071. This is my attempt at a levy and campaign game. I've been working on this for the past year and a half or so. It is the Turkish incursions into Anatolia. You can see the map here. Mosul and Baghdad this way, Constantinople this way. We've got the Armenian city of Ani here, and we've got obviously Antioch and the sort of northern part of the Levant here. Levying campaign has some stuff. I'll probably do a separate video on this at some point, but we had a nice game yesterday. We started from 1068. You can see that it's spring, summer, autumn. There's a small winter interphase, and then you go to the next year. But we had a game yesterday where the Turks managed to penetrate into sort of the Caesarea region. They ravaged a whole bunch of the Byzantine Empire here. The Byzantines counterattacked, and then both sides started to suffer from lack of ability to pay their armies. And though the Turks had an advantage in victory points, the Romans managed to knock out enough of the Turkish lords and their capability to keep them in the field that the Roman emperor, as the sole lord left for the Byzantines, survived, and the final Turkish lord did not. And so at the end of 1069, it was a Roman-Byzantine victory, and yeah, it was a pretty good time. Looking to play this one more with some people. I know that some folks are going to come by today and check it out, so little sneak peek at Seljuk, Byzantium Besiege, under design work by me right now. All right, so here at GMT West, and I just finished a playtest game of Palestine from the British Way, which, as you can see, they've got all 4 of the modules in that game here for playtesting, which is very cool. We just finish this one. It's a 2-player game. You'll notice that there is no sort of control or opposition support spaces on this map. And what's interesting about this is it's got this interesting mechanic where one faction is trying to bring down essentially the political will of the British, and the British are trying to keep this above 0. And so you get into kind of this very interesting direct conflict where the Irgun are trying to put sabotage and terror markers, which I did pretty successfully. I'm playing the yellow faction. I did pretty successfully in most of the game, and every propaganda round, those markers will lower the British political will. So the British are in kind of this frantic fight against time to make sure that they're stopping the Irgun guerrillas from sabotaging railways, sabotaging cities, putting terror markers down. And the cities and railways are worth more than sort of the countryside provinces. So you get these like hyper-focused, and it's almost very similar to a distant plane, where very focused, specific spots on the map become hot zones for both sides. You've got these weapons caches, which you can use as die roll modifiers when you try and place your sabotage markers. In general, there's a lot more die rolling in this one, which is very interesting because it's always kind of a risk that you might fail, and I actually failed quite a number of times in placing new weapons caches or getting my sabotage markers down. Otherwise, it's the coin event system, as you know, and there's a really interesting, initiative mechanic sort of pioneered in Colonial Twilight that's been modified here for this. And yeah, it was pretty tense right up to the end. If a couple things had gone my way, I would have got to 0. But at the very end, we got a key event for the British player, and he was able to remove the effect of terror up here in Haifa, and had a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to trying the other ones at some point if I can find some time. I'm really interested in the Cyprus one all the way down here. So a quick little look at British Way Palestine. Playing some SPQR here on Friday night. We are doing the Battle of Great Plains. This is the first time I've actually played SPQR, but I am very familiar with the system because I played Cataphract recently. I am the Carthaginians with the world's worst medium infantry. Look at these levies. TQ of 4. I would rather have Vandals at this point than these levies. It's terrible. But the core center infantry that Hasdrubal uses is pretty good. Also, this counter looks like it says Hasdrubal Disco, and I am all about the Hasdrubal Disco. We're about to play the Hasdrubal Disco right now with these Roman legions. All right, here we are. A few turns into the Battle of Great Plains. The Disco is not going as well as I had hoped. So my strategy is the Carthaginians, because they are fighting with absolute junk. I tried to extend their flanks out to the sides, right? They've got some cavalry on the flanks. I was hoping that I could widen up the infantry, really just kind of envelop the flanks of the Romans. Unfortunately, if you've played SPQR, the Romans are just superior in every way. Even the Romans' crappy light cavalry absolutely crushed my Carthaginian heavy cavalry. I mean, it's terrible. So I'm between a rock and a hard place. I moved my first line of heavy infantry up against sort of the velites and the legions, and the reason I did that is because if the legions charge, their attacker's superior. And my heavy infantry, when they attack, there's no position superiority. So I'm trying to get hits on these units, knowing that I can't beat them, but at least I will have a better combat against them rather than taking double hits. And my hope is that after these guys rout, the second line can come in and sort of finish off those legions. They're worth a lot of points if I can get them to rout. He's got a lot of leaders. They're able to recover a lot. Still haven't sprung the cavalry charge over here. We did have some pretty good impact with these medium infantry. I routed one of his Roman heavy cavalry, which is he recovered. He's actually under here, I think. Or he's under here, actually. And so we've got kind of this left flank, right flank kind of like mishmash going on. There's like some light infantry moved up here. So I feel like I'm doing better over here because I only have to contend with these heavy cavalry. But across the middle, a bunch of my mercenaries just broke. And we haven't really done a lot on the right flank other than this like very end cavalry skirmish. So not sure I see a path to victory for the Carthaginians, but I'm going to make it as painful as possible for the Romans when we pick it up tomorrow. The disco is over. We've decided to call it here at the end of this turn. It is actually really even right now. It's 28 to 24 route points in favor of the Romans. But the Romans are going to lose another almost 20 here. I'm going to lose another 20 down here from routing. And the Carthaginians are hanging in there. The Roman legionary center is just uncrackable. They're so good. They've been close to breaking. They've recovered. They have so many leaders who can fix them. I've been saving this line of heavy infantry here with the Carthaginians for one final push in case I needed it. But really, what really kind of pulled me closer was Syphax up here, the Numidian cavalry commander. He finally made the cavalry charge. We routed several, between the light infantry, the medium infantry, and this cavalry charge, we routed several of the Roman cav back off the field and now really control this flank. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens as they formed up and potentially tried to sweep around to the Romans. If they had turned to face, then they've got to face the infantry coming in. And nothing really happening over here. We had some light skirmishing where the Carthaginians got the worst of it. But it was going to be a pretty interesting finish, I think. It just would have taken a while. So, but pretty fun. I haven't played SPQR before, and this is pretty representative of the type of stuff you'd see in this set, I think. And yeah, the disco is closed.
No, I can't imagine why.
So I literally,
They
so I
also
was,
have a version with the historical picture.
I was about to head home, and I walked over to see what people were playing, and I was like, oh, they're playing some World War II card game with this German cross. And then I was like, wait a second, are those anime girls on these cards? I was like, what a combination this is. I was not familiar with this game before I checked it out. Yeah, okay, wow, I can't show that on the channel. It's called Barbarossa, and this is like the most adorable font for Operation Barbarossa that is humanly possible to create. So this is a new experience that I'm having.
The game ends when someone conquers Moscow.
It's fantastic. All right, last day. For me anyways, it's Saturday, but I'm leaving tomorrow morning because I gotta go home. I have a curling match I need to be at on Sunday night, so we're gonna jam from the airport to that. But I thought I would take a tour here on Saturday at lunchtime. It's obviously the most crowded day. Most people here. We had the GMT address from Gene Billingsley this morning. I got to find out all the cool stuff that designers and developers are working on, and that's the reason you should come to this event, because you get a little sneak peek at stuff that hasn't been publicly announced yet, so I won't go into that. But let's take a look at what's going around the convention today and what people are playing. Another game of the Tierland going on.
One of these factions, and it causes pain for years.
People have been really enjoying that.
I've got a whole handful of cards. I got one attack card, a whole handful of blue and white cards. So no matter what he plays, I know I can respond to it. So I don't care that I'm going to go big to start with, because I'm probably going to be able to make it stick.
Wild Blue Yonder, more Wild Blue Yonder. They've been playing that all weekend. That's pretty cool. This is really interesting. This is the Commands and Colors Medieval that someone did a custom epic version game rule set for, because it doesn't actually officially exist yet. And I'm not sure what battle this is, but pretty cool thing that someone's done. We got another game of Versailles 1919 over here, which I desperately want to play. There was another one last night. Have we solved world peace yet?
We're we're close.
Close.
There'll never be another war after this one.
I'm about to go get lunch, actually. But after that, I'm not playing anything, I don't think.
If they're still playing when you get back, let's play something.
Yeah, absolutely, sure. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Yeah, I'll come find you when I come back. Yeah, I'll come find you when I come back. And go grab some pizza. We have got Fire in the Lake again going.
So could you move my patronage up?
This time, no bot to crush everybody. It's a 4-player game, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Good. The bot can watch and look on like superior. Yeah.
And what's the limit on how many cards you can play in one combat?
Hello, doing Imperium?
Yes.
Nice. Is it good?
Yes.
Awesome.
I haven't played for a while. Yes.
Awesome.
In combat, nobody
This looks like Dominant Species.
This is Dominant Species.
Nice. Never played it. There's another game that was happening a couple nights ago that went really long.
Yeah.
You know what? This is kind of long, but like it's flying.
Yeah. I mean, it's because we're gonna do all 5 cards every time.
I just mean like that. Like it doesn't. It's not feeling long to me.
Yeah.
Who's winning?
One of these two guys is gonna. He's winning right now, but he's in a good position.
We have no idea.
The reptiles or the amphibians? One of the two?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm doing this.
Yeah, you scored 3.
And you get.
We did our shopping this morning. Got a chance to buy some games. I picked up a couple things that I did not own that I've been on the hunt for a long time, which is pretty nice. Look at all this. This is all the in-stock stuff right here. If you want a copy of Colonial Twilight, they have it. If you want a copy of 1846, they have it. American Revolution Tri-Pack, Imperial Struggle. So many games. Pendragon back there. Here's the back room. Battle for Normandy continues. Still going. More Combat Commander.
Are you a fan of the Dune game? What fan of Dune is altogether?
I have no further follow-up questions for you.
Dune Imperium, or you're talking about Dune Imperium, or
What game is this?
the old one? Q. I have played it. I did not understand it.
Forgive me, this is
Q.
the rule book,
No, thank you.
and this is the top of the box, I suppose.
Never read the book.
I have not heard of Q.
Last one.
It's the game that was published in Poland.
Okay.
And this one is the multilingual
Ah, okay.
edition. So what? Some cards they are in Polish language, but the cards that matter they have stickers.
Okay.
So you can tell this is the player A, the sequence.
Cool.
The idea is that we have our shopping lists, and there are stores in 5 categories, and you have to wait in queue and get the right set of the items, right?
That's a terrible in-person experience. What makes it fun as a game?
At the end of the round, they all leave this.
So I was born in 1982 in Poland, and I remember some of those articles because this is how our everyday life looked like.
Wow.
And for me, it's hilarious because you never know what you are going to get. Tim got bread and
A wonderful pair of waterproof shoes.
So useful.
But I played this with some girls from Eastern Europe, and it was like this game is just too close to life.
Nostalgic, let's say.
Yeah.
frustration.
PTSD inducing.
The whole thing. If you're not sure if you're going to get it, what you're going to get it, how you're going to get it, if it's even going to get it at all.
Most interesting theme for a game I think I've ever seen in terms of who thought of
It
this.
proves you can make a game out of an awful lot of different things.
Yes, absolutely. Here we've got Caesar, Rome versus Gaul. Did you just finish?
Just finished.
Who won?
Gaul.
Gaul. It's hard to win. Hard to win as Rome in this game.
Yeah.
Eric says not.
Eric thinks it's pro-Roman.
I do.
Interesting. That probably means it's balanced. If both people think it's hard.
I think the Romans will win if the Gauls are aggressive.
Interesting.
I think
Okay.
if the Gauls do what Chris did and hang back and build up their strength, they'll get too strong by late in the game.
Interesting. What else we got going on today? Oh, we got some Absolute War. I showed you that, still set up. This is Old School Tactical, still set up. Napoleon's Triumph.
Yep.
Very nice. Looks beautiful on the table. I'm personally not a fan of it, but it's a very cool looking game. Who's winning?
I think they are right now.
Interesting. Nice.
Yeah, we just got shattered here on the right flank.
That's never good.
Yep.
Atlantic Chase.
Yes.
Very cool. Played a full campaign of Atlantic Chase recently, and that was a wild back and forth. We went all 5 potential missions. It was crazy.
You did the campaign?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really interesting. There's some cool stuff between the missions that change.
How long did it take?
We did it in 3 sessions. But those are only 5 hours each probably. So we did 2 scenarios one day, 2 scenarios the other day, and then we did the last one another day. More tank duel and its associated expansions happening. Lots of people playing that. Mr. President still set up here. Let's go see what these folks are playing over on this side. More Atlantic Chase. The second game of Atlantic Chase that's going on right now. Very nice.
My intel limit, however, means that I
I'm
can
totally whooping him. By the way.
Are you? Nice.
You're making a video?
And are you the Germans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want
So
to make
that's,
sure the world knows.
so I played a full campaign with the British recently, and it went all 5 possible scenarios, and I started very strong. I won the first 2, and then I lost the last 3. So that feeling of feeling like you have so many ships and what you can do, and suddenly you get beat.
Yeah.
It's gut wrenching. Gut wrenching.
And morale is war.
Nice. Battles of the American Revolution.
Yes.
Battles of Rhode Island?
Yes.
Nice. I have not yet played this one, but I have played many of the others. I love this system.
It's a fun system.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I was here 2 weeks ago.
What's that? In Rhode
I was
Island?
here,
Oh,
2 weeks ago.
very cool.
Show the picture, you know.
Awesome. Did you just buy this, by the way?
Yes.
Nice. Very cool. A couple weeks ago, I got a chance to play Savannah, the three-player one.
That's a fun one.
So cool, so cool. Like it was funny. Our campaign in Savannah, I was the Americans. My partner was the French, and we got rain for like 4 straight turns. So the siege never materialized, and so like on the final turn possible, we just kind of had to like randomly sprint across the field and try and hop over the walls because we didn't get any sort of siege preparation because the rain ruined our plan. It was crazy. So
yeah, that happened to me too. Remember, it was like I got stuck in the mud or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like I was like, come on, do it already.
It wasn't quite that bad, but
Yeah,
you did get stuck.
I did get stuck. Yeah, I lost a lot of time. I thought I was going to make it. Then, finally, like, the weather cleared. I was like, I'm here, finally. Vive la France.
Nice. Well, go America. The remnants of our SPQR game that you just saw some glimpses of. This is kind of what it looked like at the end. The setup, the battlefield. Looks like some Band of Brothers here. Obviously, Seldrick's still set up, hoping to do some demos of that. More Battles of the American Revolution. Germantown. I do like Germantown as a scenario. It's a pretty fun game.
Join me.
I would love to. I'm about to go get lunch. But if I come back and don't have anything on the hook, then I'll definitely play it with you. Yeah,
the King of France.
Virgin Queen, where the King of France is trying to be assassinated right now.
Well, I'd like to assassinate.
He wishes he could.
One of my favorite games of all time.
If only we knew how to play it.
Oh, do you need some help? Is there a rules thing I can help you with?
Yes.
What's that?
Well,
we
might need ongoing help.
I mean, my game's right there, so I can just yell it to you over.
Okay.
What's the rule?
It's not.
Oh. You will have questions. You just don't know what they are yet.
Okay. So
You want me to follow the sequence of play? I'm always good at the sequence.
follow the sequence of play. That's the first thing we need.
It's also on that card, by the way. The sequence of play.
Are these in my hand?
That's a question for you.
Yes. Yes.
And now, do I get these back, or I only play these once?
Are those your home cards?
Yes.
I can't remember the rules specifically, but I believe you pick one of them, or do the Ottomans get both of them?
You pick one.
I believe you pick one. If you have multiples, you choose the one you want for the turn. And the way that we play is when you use it, you put it face down in front of you so people know, hey, he's used his home card kind of thing. Otherwise, I keep it in my hand to remember what it is and when to play it and stuff. But it doesn't count towards your hand limit.
It says turn 4, does that mean?
You cannot use that till turn 4. You cannot choose that card until turn 4. So some of the powers will get home cards that come in later in the game that they can then choose from.
How hard can it be? Now, is there a turn marker we need? Or?
There is a turn marker somewhere in the game that you can put there.
I can't find it. I have been looking for it.
Okay, we first start with the treasures of the New World.
Okay.
Are you ready? Are we ready to start?
And finally, last thing I wanted to show here, we've got Henry. Hello, Joe. How's it going? This is the Levian campaign game that I played last night. That is the sort of smaller scope lunchtime game about the Agincourt campaign of Henry V. That was a blast. I took some pictures. I'll probably talk a little bit about that, or have already talked a little bit about that in the video. But it looks like you're doing a little battle scenario here.
Yeah. So this is the Battle of Agincourt.
Nice.
This is Henry and Edward going up against a collection of French lords.
Nice.
One of the cool things about this game is it also offers in the box a separate kind of mini battle game. Think like table battles. So you would be able to, if you didn't want to play a full game, you set up and play out a battle of Agincourt, and it should also come with, hopefully, some other kind of famous battles from this time period.
Nice. One of the things that's cool about this system is that it's kind of asymmetric. He's kind of done away with the sort of turn structure of traditional levying campaign. So one side is levying, and then they decide when they want to go on campaign, and the other side starts on campaign, but at the beginning of the game, they choose what they're going to get for that whole campaign. So there's a really cool asymmetry between the sides, and it's like someone make do with what you have versus I need to get all the stuff to defend, and it's pretty neat. Can't wait to try it again.
I think it's right.
All right, so Hollenspiels, Optimates and Populares. This is actually a very early Hollenspiel game. It's number 11 for them. I've never played it before. We just finished playing it here at GMT. What a fascinating, intelligent, smart game. So visually, this looks really weird, right? You're like, what am I looking at? You're looking at like a ancient world version of like a data scientist dashboard. So what's interesting about this game, you've got the population of Rome broken up into different social classes. You've got the merchants, the military, the poor, and the senators. And each of these functions of society is tied to one of 4 different categories of law. And so every turn you're spending your political will, which is a currency you use to take actions. And usually most things you do give your opponent political will. So there's this really interesting like democratic interaction where you can propose to change a law. And when you change a law, that affects a specific segment of the society. And you score victory points for farther up, ultimately it's a victory point game, but you score victory points for the further you can push the law towards your side of the track. And every single step along the track affects more people in that law's social category. But there's also money, and you can use money to throw games, and that will get the people to support you as well. So there's this very interesting interplay where you're trying to get the support of the people, control the Senate, get your agenda passed. But like most democracies with checks and balances, there's a lot of give to get, or anything you try and do can be undermined by the other party. And so what ended up happening here is the people did not support me. I was blue. I was the populares. The people did not support me. They overwhelmingly supported the optimates. But because I controlled the Senate, I controlled the consuls, and the consuls were able to make laws, and I was able to get my laws up, and every turn I started to outscore in victory points the populares. Now the populares was richer than me, so I could never get the people on my side because he was always able to outspend me on games. And when you have money, you can also veto laws as well. There's a really cool political interaction happening here. But for a game that is essentially 2 8.5 by 11 grids, there's a lot going on. It's really smart. There's a lot of counterplay. It's a really interesting two-player game that, while somewhat abstract from the actions you take, is very thematic in terms of the outcome and the concept. So highly recommend that if you haven't played this and you like Roman politics in particular, this is a really good one to pick up. All right, I figured I would do one more walkthrough. We're here Saturday night. Most people are leaving tomorrow, so this is basically the final hurrah, where it's about 9:30, end of the evening. Wild Blue Yonder still going. Those guys are troopers. Got some Caesar Rome versus Gaul out here. First time player learning. This is the outdoor. There were tacos out here earlier. That was cool. I was in the middle of the game, so I didn't get any tacos. I missed it. But over here we got PAX Premier 2nd Edition. Just had a long conversation with them about which versions we prefer. I love the look of the game. Really nice. Got just finished up Space Corp over here. Downfall, still being play tested. John Butterfield and Chad Jensen co-design, obviously. Cowboy Bebop being played again. That's the second time they played it this weekend. The Tierland still set up. Combat Commander over there. Welcome to Centerville again. Surprisingly popular with people, which is interesting. More Combat Commander in here. And there's some dominant species happening earlier. I've seen several games of dominant species happening. And more PAX Premier 2nd Edition. PAX games seem to be a nice end of night when your brain is fried, a little less complex than some of the stronger war games. And then over here, we've got a table playing Ivanhoe, which is an old GMT game that I've never played, but I've seen many games of it happening this weekend. What do we think about Ivanhoe?
It's fun so far.
This is where
This
is where it gets hard because it's like I'm like
nice. It's old school GMT. Rainier Knizia. Here are some of the games that I picked up from the buying. I got a copy of War Galley. I've been looking for this for a long time. This is the nice part about coming to GMT is that you can pick up out-of-print stuff because they keep back stock of things for people who come to their weekends, which is amazing. So very excited to own War Galley. I mostly bought this so I can play the Sina Gallica scenario out of Cataphract. Very excited about that. Maybe the final copy that exists in North America of Tenkai Tuitsu. This game it's a Hexasim game. Obviously GMT distributes for Hexasim. Just extremely interesting Japanese 16th century battle game that has really crazy concepts that turns Hex Encounter on its head. I've been looking for this for a long time. It's very hard to find. Super thrilled that I was able to pick up a copy. Saints in Armor, which I did not pick up when it came out, but I've been looking at getting into the Musket and Pike series. I do own Under the Lily Banners, which I got from a convention several years ago. I still haven't played it, but I've heard really good things about the system. And then this is a gift for a friend, Cataclysm. And then I picked up another gift for a friend that's not here, but Sword of Rome Deluxe Edition, picked that up as well for a friend of mine. And then the person I'm here at the convention with also got Chandragupta, which is the Indian Great Battles of History game. And there's some other games that I've been thinking about picking up. I just don't have the room to bring them home. I was looking at Crown of Roses, which looks really cool. I know Wise Guy History just did a video on that. And there's some other interesting stuff. There's some copies of out-of-print games that I was kind of eyeing, but I'm not sure I'm going to pull the trigger on just because that is already a pretty decent-sized haul for this convention where I did not plan to buy anything. Had another game of Seljuk here. Another person stopped by to do a demo. We played the 1070 scenario, which you can see set up here. I'll give you a little brief overview of that. So the 1070 scenario is what I used to play test. I needed a scenario to make sure it all hung together and the mechanics worked, and I think I have it pretty dialed in. So it's 3 lords per side, so it's pretty small, plus a lord from each side is actually available on the first turn here. So here, and the Turks begin sort of in enemy territory. Arsigi, who's the Sultan's brother-in-law here at Theodosiopolis, he can move from there or he can put it under siege. My opponent chose to siege it, and they ended up destroying Theodosiopolis after Alp Arslan marched in from Ani. You've got Hierapolis here, Hierapolis, as they say in Greek, also known as Manbij. This is the Emir of Iran, of the Shaddadid dynasty. He starts sieging this fort, and you've got Chadaturrius, the Dukes of Antioch, who is primarily the East Romans' best border commander. Essentially, he basically holds this whole frontier together, and it's very important not to lose him, which I almost did in this particular game. Manuel Komnenos, who is the general, the emperor is not available in 1070. He begins in Constantinople, and he's got to march all the way from there. It takes an entire card to leave this box right now. That's how I have it designed. And then the Norman mercenary, the treacherous Norman mercenary, Roussel de Bayeux, at his base in Ankara. And so you get, we had a nice little game. We had one of the lord that comes in on the Turk side, Afshin here. He ended up raiding very deep into Roman territory, got all the way to Iconium, which is historically accurate. But he could not get his loot home. He made it as far as Aleppo on the retreat. The Romans did a really good job of blocking his path, and he could not score that loot during winter. But that didn't matter because, and the final score in this scenario was. It was 7.5 to 7, I believe, in the Turks' favor. So it was the 4th game in a row of this particular scenario that I have seen in the last week that has ended at half a victory point or less. Yesterday I had a draw with fellow Levian campaign designer Joe Schmidt. That was really fun as well. Each one of these games has unfolded differently. This scenario as I've played it, which is fantastic. I've seen a lot of people who have come and played it this weekend using different capabilities cards, trying different strategies, checking out the different ways that the game can be played, and I've seen a lot of different results happen, which is very cool, and some historical things happening as well, like Afshin raiding deep. So it's very promising to me that the game can unfold in many different ways, and now that I've played it probably 10 times, I have a pretty good sense of what's going to work and what's not going to work, but I'm still being surprised. And I'm still actually discovering strategies that I have not tried before, and they're either working or not working, and so that's been very informative as well. I think I figured out a pretty good strategy for getting, in this scenario where the Romans are very strapped for actions, the commander, or the marshal as it's known in Nevsky, marching, using the ability to march with other lords is very pivotal to get the Romans in position to contest the Turks' sort of drive. Anyways, I'll have more about this game, and sometime in the future, I'll probably do a series of videos on it. I'm still sort of getting it to a spot where I feel like it's pretty good. We're going to be doing a lot of play testing of it. I will have this game at another convention at the beginning of November in Canada, assuming they'll let me cross the border. And so if you're going to be at that one and you're watching this channel in BC, please come and check it out. I will have it there all weekend for you to play and try. That's going to wrap it up for the tour of GMT Games. Everyone's a little bit exhausted, I think. A lot of casual games happening, and thanks for tuning into this video. I had a lot of fun here. Highly recommend, if you can make it out to GMT for one of their weekend at the warehouses, that you do so. A lot of great people, a lot of great games being played, meeting a lot of their designers, producers. It's been a really fun time, and obviously very secure because it was vaccine only, masks on if you're inside at all times. Felt very safe, very good, and everyone had a really great time. So thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.